Star Fox, or more specifically, Star Fox Assault, is a game that's pretty big when it comes to my childhood, or more specifically, my current hood, because I know someone in the comments is gonna, screw me over for saying childhood, even though I'm still technically a child. Anyways, I never actually got to play Star Fox Assault through a normal, proper GameCube. I was only able to play it through emulators, but dang, that didn't really change the experience at all. I still got to play with a normal controller, and I still had a blast. Star Fox Assault will always be a part of my life, no matter how way you really switch it, so I thought, why not? I'll review it. I'll review the game, pros and cons, why not? So anyways, welcome everyone to my second review, and welcome back to WebWebster.
Can't let you do that, Stop.
Let's start with the basics. Star Fox Assault was developed by Namco, the mastermind behind such titles as Pac-Man, and these are even the guys that helped out with some of the new Smash Bros. Games. The game was announced in 2003's E3 with quite a negative reaction by fans, according to Electric Gaming Monthly. They even said that the short clip that was provided to announce the game was remarkably unimpressive. Here's a little known fact, Star Fox Assault had a lot of different names during its development, according to our Wikipedia, the Star Fox Wiki. One of those names was even Star Fox 2 to my dismay. Some other titles include Star Fox Armada and simply just Star Fox, but the final title was... Okay, what about you take a guess? Star Fox Assault is a very dramatic and story-driven action game compared to previous titles. It 100% has a very serious and tone compared to something like Star Fox 64. The story begins perhaps a decade after the Lilac Wars, aka Star Fox 64. The Star Fox crew returns once more to stop a new threat, Andross' annoying nephew and ex-Star Wolf member, Andrew, as after Star Fox 64, he's decided that he wants to be the captain of Andross' fleet and has been rebuilding it over the course of 8 years. And Team Star Fox can't just let whatever he's gonna do happen. After teaching Andrew a lesson that by destroying his entire fleet that he's worked so hard on for 8 years, the team soon realizes that there's a bigger threat to the Lilac system than androikiny. Enter the Aperoids, who soon engages battle of Team Star Fox. After you defeat it, its core memory, as it's dubbed, drops and Peppy demands that Fox retreats and bring it to the Great Fox, and thus Star Fox's new adventure begins. The story behind Star Fox Assault is absolutely incredible to me. I would go more in depth with the plot, but I feel like this really is worth playing and witnessing. The way the characters interact with each other is satisfying to watch as they argue and compliment each other. It's honestly all very organic and doesn't drag on for too long. The story is also very cool to witness. It's honestly an engaging story for a Star Fox game, and I really appreciate how the folks over at Namco probably put a lot of time and effort towards the story. Like, no joke, they could have totally 100% just bullcrap their way through the story, like, Andross is back. But no, they actually made an original story of a new villain and a couple of new characters along the way. The gameplay to Star Fox Assault is very controversial to say the least. There's some people who really like its diverse playstyles, and those who completely despise the gameplay. There's 3 main playstyles in Assault: Arrowing, Landmaster, and On Foot. For those worrying out there, don't worry, this ain't no Star Fox Adventures. There isn't any staff or puzzles you need to deal with. For the On Foot segments, you use weapons that range from a simple assault rifle to a homing launcher and a freaking Gatling gun. Every time you find these weapons, go ahead and pray to Jesus in the sky for a damn second, because these weapons will end the lives of a lot of enemies. Trust me. I honestly don't have a problem with on-foot missions. Hell, some of my favorite missions in general are on foot to its core, and I don't have any problem saying that. The controls may be slippery at first, but you'll get used to it during mission 3, at least for me. Fox also moves very quickly on foot, and boy does it feel good. I love the speeding and dashing through the on-foot missions. It's almost speedrun levels of fast. Next is the R-Wing sections, which are phenomenal, and I think even if you hate the game, you can agree that the R-Wing sections are the best parts of the game. The best missions are always the R-Wing missions. They're always a blast to go through. Some of the missions are even all range mode where you can move freely instead of on rail. But here's where the problem emerges. One word: Landmaster. Dear God, do I despise the Landmaster sections. They're so clunky and messy to control no matter how many missions he plays them with. What's even worse is that the Landmaster isn't a good chunk of missions, and I really wish I could just edit it out in some way. It can be somewhat durable in some missions, but overall, I just don't have a good time with the thing. And I'm gonna be honest, the only time when the Landmaster is fun to use is in multiplayer mode. Oh yeah, I fucking love multiplayer mode. Multiplayer mode is a thing in Star Fox Assault that both brings and breaks friendships alike. The gist of it is that you and up to 3 other buddies can play in versus battles that can range to on-foot combat and arrowing combat. There's actually a good amount of modes for multiplayer as well. There's survival mode where you have to get a certain amount of kills to win. There's a sure shot scuffle where all weapons kill in one hit. There's sniper shootout where, as the name implies, you play with just snipers. And then there's crown capture where you can steal the crown from your opponent until time runs out. For those considering buying or renting the game, I definitely do either. Now, if you're planning on buying the game through maybe eBay or GameStop, I definitely go for it even if it's $20 to $40. I'd be a bit wary of $50, but I think it still would be worth a shot. Now, if you're considering renting the game, however, then yeah, sure, go completely crazy. But Star Fox Assault is actually a very nice addition to anyone's collection. So actually, I'd say to actually buy the game instead of renting it. But if you're planning on renting the game, that's totally fine. Anyways, I'm about to go into spoiler territory now, so if you haven't played the game yet, I'd 100% please, for the love of God, exit the video, because I'm about to spoil most of the game's story. Now, without further ado, here's the ending of Star Fox Assault. After the gang reunited with Tricky, the dinosaur from Star Fox Adventures, they soon realized that going to Cyraria in the first place was a bad idea. A really bad idea, as when they weren't looking, the Aproids came in and invaded Corneria and squashed their defenses. After an on-foot battle with some of the Aproid guards, Fox is quickly ambushed by the guards and defenses, but out of nowhere, Wolf appears and clears up the place using his ship, the Wolfen. After saving Fox's life, General Pepper appears, but he's been infected by Aproid parasites, leaving Fox and Wolf no choice but to shoot down his ship. But don't worry, Peppy quickly rescues Pepper for the 1% of you that cared. After the invasion, however, the Aproid homeworld was exposed, leaving Fox and the gang no choice but to invade it, and finish the Aproid wars once and for all. Just before the team was about to invade the planet, however, the Aproids fire a deadly laser to defend themselves. Peppy and Rob have no choice but to sacrifice their own lives and the Great Fox so Fox and Co. can defeat the Aproids. Don't worry, however, because after the final battle, Fox defeats the Aproids and Aproid Queen and ends the Aproid Wars. What's better, Peppy and Rob are apparently okay, and escaped the explosion thanks to escape pods. And thanks to Star Fox's command, we also know that Star Wolf survived as well. And thus that actually concludes Star Fox Assault's story. Star Fox Assault is and always will be a big part of my life. I freaking love the game, for crying out loud. I love the story, characters, music. Speaking of the music, god damn, is it really good. Seriously, every single song gives me so many goosebumps. Look, I just really love Star Fox Assault. Like, what can I say? I would keep talking about this game, but the video is long enough as is, which is why I have, and I mean I have, to give Star Fox Assault